Hey, how are you today? My name is Kimberly Ann. Let's do a quick music ministry moment. And this particular artist is one that I just love. His name is Tim Miner, and he was popular in the 90s. And Tim Miner grew up in Oklahoma. His dad was a pastor and an evangelist, and his father passed away when Tim Miner was only 2 years old. So he went through a lot of things in his adolescence and throughout his life. But I want to share the lyrics of a song with you and give a bit of the history of this particular song in a very pivotal moment when Tim shared it. I mean, at one of the biggest times in his life, and he wasn't going to. And so the song is called Forgive Me. And you know what? I'm going to post the link to the song in the comments. You've got to hear it. You've got to hear it. It's so amazing. And so Tim says, I've been raised in the perfect surroundings. Go to church once a week, sometimes two. Lord, I want to be what you want me to be, but often sin represents all I do. So Lord, forgive me. Once again, cleanse me. Forgive me. Once again, cover me. I don't even know why your mercy never dies, but I'm glad. Oh, I'm glad your spirit always seems to grab me just before I go over the edge. But what I can't understand is why you're even here when I trashed my oath and my pledge. Forgive me. Once again, cleanse me. Amen. You've just got to hear that song. Oh, you've just got to hear that song. And so it was many, many years when I heard it for the very first time. And it was just at that moment that he was sharing his testimony of what happened when he was trying to break into the R&B scene. I mean, he is R&B and he is born again. And so he was going before some of the big wigs in the R&B scene, so that, you know, there's that, what do you want to say, crossover in which you're saying, well, I'm a Christian, I do R&B music, and I want to be able to be a testimony in the world. And so that's what he was attempting to do. And so his big moment came. Here's all the, we could say, secular R&B reps and executives, and they're all waiting to hear what Tim Miner's got, right? And so he sets himself to go out onto stage. He's going to do a totally different song, and he's ready to perform it. And right at the moment when he's ready to walk out on stage, and he's got the lights and everything going on and his backup or whatever, and God says, nope, no lights, no backup, no nothing but you and your guitar, and I want you to sing for them, Forgive Me. That song. And you can imagine if you had a moment like that in your life and you're like, God, but Lord, this isn't the way I saw it going. And are you sure? And God said, do that song. And so he goes out on the stage with his guitar and himself, and he sings that song, Forgive Me, in front of a whole room full of big wig executives and, you know, the movers and the shakers in the R&B scene, who probably most of them didn't know Christ at all. And so Tim does that song, and there wasn't a dry eye in the place, and they were floored. They're like, wow, whoa. And so it began. You see, and you can check out his bio, the information or whatnot, more on that story and then what happened after that. He's got some songs out there and up there. And I think in the 90s, really, he was very popular. But I will never, ever forget that song and that story. And I will never, ever forget the moment that I heard that song for the very first time. And when I'm in times of really deep worship, I do play that song. I put it in the mix. Of what it is that I'm using to worship the Lord by. And so, Tim Miner, the song is Forgive Me. And down below, I will put the link to the song in the comments, and you've just got to check it out. God is so good. He loves you so much today. Love him with your whole heart. I love you, and I will talk to you once again real soon.